If you're having trouble with mathematics, numbers getting problematic, don't you panic. Check MathWiz, the best math tutor on the planet. From fraction to algebra, simple maths, add up some trigonometry into that. Learning math is fun with MathWiz, and that's a fact. We're rooting for you.
Hey there, welcome back to another MathWiz Academy video. I do hope if this is your first time that you will have a great time with me today. For those persons who are returning, I hope you continue to enjoy the videos. So today we're still on factorization for what I call type 2, but what you may know as the difference of two squares. Now, if you have not gone through before, I want you to, or you don't know, you've never heard of this topic, just go ahead and click the link. Now, for the factorization using the difference of two squares, I have done a couple of videos just to split them up in how they usually come. So today we're really focusing on the more complex ones, as well as how do you work if you have the one involved, right? And you'll see what I'm talking about shortly. But I'm saying that if you're not familiar with the difference of two squares, just go ahead, click the link, watch the video, do your refresher, and then you can just quickly come back so that you can function confidently throughout today's video. All right, so provided we have all done our groundwork and we are ready for today's lesson, then we are going to work on May 2018, question 2A, part 1. And we have 1 minus 4h squared. So I'm just going to do a quick refresher to the side for those persons who I know will not go and watch the video, unfortunately. But that's fine, right? So we have a squared minus b squared, and as I would have explained in the previous one, this is basically saying square 1 minus square 2, which is where we get this idea of the difference of two squares, right? Because it's the difference of square 1 and square 2. Now, when you factorize that, that's going to be equal to a plus b, a minus b, right? And to factorize, we're expressing as, you know, products, or yeah, really that's what it would be. So something that started off as, you know, subtraction or the difference of two squares, now we have expressed it as the product of two things. So that's the first thing in terms of refresher for the difference of two squares. The next thing I want to refresh is that if we have a to the m, so this is now our indices, right? If we have a to the m times b to the m, we can express it as ab all to the m, right? So I'll probably even insert a video in relation to that as well, or maybe you can check in the description, right? So I probably won't have it in the link, but you can check the description for how to, you know, work with the powers in terms of the indices. Okay, so what are we going to do for this? Well, the first thing I want us to do is to change everything to squares, because right now I'm not really seeing the difference of the two squares clearly. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to express the 1 as 1 squared, right? And we know that 1 squared is just saying 1 times 1, which is 1. So whenever you have a question like this and you see 1, I want you to express it as 1 squared. Now, for the rest of the question, I do want us to also change the other things that can be changed to squares. So the 4 can be changed to 2 squared. So our aim is always to change everything. You want to change out everything to squares, right? So it's getting closer, not quite there, but I'm kind of seeing it. So I say, okay, how about I use my rule of indices, which says that if I have a to the m times b to the m, then I can express this as ab all to the m. Right? So now this looks clear. Now I can see that this is square 1 minus square 2. Right? So the a in this case is the 1, and the b in this case is the 2h. So in writing my answer, I am going to have 1 plus 2h, 1 minus 2h, right? So it's a squared minus b squared, which becomes a plus b, a minus b. All right, so just remember, whenever we have the 1, we change it to 1 squared. And for everything else, we also need to look out to ensure that we can change those to full-on squares. So once you've mastered that, let's go on to the next. And if this is moving too fast for you, please remember you can always go and watch the actual video that allows for you to learn it at your own pace before attempting the past paper questions. I've seen students always trying to attempt past paper questions before doing the work necessary, and that's when you'll get discouraged because you'll think that, you know, you aren't able to do it when really you just needed to go and master the topic. All right, so for May 2017, 2A part 2, it is 4m squared minus 1. So similarly, I'm going to have to change out that 4m squared as well as the 1. So I'm going to change this to 2 squared m squared. Let's use another color for this. So let's go ahead, maybe let's use blue. All right, so I've changed the 4m squared to 2 squared m squared. And we always change our 1 to 1 squared. Now this is looking at the difference of 2 squares, but not quite. This now looks like the difference of 3 squares. So I need to fix this up some more. So using my rule of indices, I can change this to 2m all squared. All right. So we go through. So this is square 2. This is square 1. And at this point, it's clear to see that we have a squared plus b squared. So our answer is simply going to be a plus b, a minus b. All right, so we have a squared plus b squared becomes a plus b, a minus b. All right, so we can do one more for this video. So let's go through with another one that looks similar. So we are going to go through and do January 2013, all right? So you can just turn over your page, make some space. So final question for this video, we are going to do January 2013, and we have 25m squared minus 1. All right, so same thing, I'm going to have to change out the 25m squared, change out my 1. So this is going to become 5 squared m squared. And this is going to become 1 squared. Right, now this is still not looking like the difference of 2 squares, so I'm going to use my rule of indices and call this 5m all squared minus 1 squared. So now I have square 1 minus square 2, right? And we can clearly see that a is 5m and b is 1, so this is going to become 5m plus 1, 5m minus 1. All right, so we have a squared plus b squared becomes a plus b, a minus b. All right, everyone, so I do hope this video was useful to you. Of course, be sure to leave your comment below so that you can start to encourage other students that, you know, they can trust this space, that they can trust the videos, that we're all doing this together. I hope that at whatever time this is finding you, that you feel motivated and that you realize that you are capable of doing it. And until next time, I am rooting for you and I can't wait to see you in our next video.